love story.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Love Talk Show. And I have this beautiful couple here with me. Hello friends, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
How y'all doing,
We're doing
tonight?
good,
Are you
thank you.
excited for tonight?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I have Julius and Michelle, both assistants in Finsbury Park, right?
Yeah.
But you, Michelle, you used to be an assistant in Luton.
Yes, that's the branch I started in.
And you, Julius, always been in Finsbury Park.
Yeah, we've been in Finn's Park.
How long you been in the church, Julius?
We're looking at about 13 years.
13 years.
About 13,
So
13 14 years, yeah.
People here know you very well.
I would
Right?
say so. I've been around, yeah.
And you, Michelle, how long you been in the church?
The same amount of time, 14 years, yeah.
Yeah, about
Came
14.
around the same time
Yes.
to church.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. You in Luton and you in Finsbury Park.
Yeah.
You came to church to solve your own problems, not knowing that at the same time, you know, the other half was going to church as well,
Yeah, no.
right? That's amazing. So, Julius, how old are you right now?
I'm 29 right now.
29. And you, Michelle?
I'm 30.
You 30. Okay. When you came to the church, how old were you when you came to the church?
I was 14.
14. And you?
I was 18.
You were 18.
17, 18, yeah.
Okay. All right. You went to Luton and you came to, you studied here in Finsbury Park,
Yeah.
right? And when you came to the church, how was your love life? I mean, you were very young, but what was your mentality about marriage? What was your background growing up? Did you suffer seeing your parents fighting, getting divorced? Can you give us a little bit of your background?
Well, for me, when I came to the church, I didn't really, in terms of love life anyway, it wasn't something that I really took seriously. I didn't think, okay, I want to settle down with someone now. In my past, I used to just play girls, really, nothing serious. I think I only had one serious relationship, and that only ended because I wanted to go with someone else. So I don't know whether you call that serious or not, but that's the only one person that I called my girlfriend. In terms of my parents, anyway, they were only together. My dad left when I was 3 years old, so never really had a stable sort of home in terms of
So
family.
your father left the family when you were 3 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he left when I was 3 years old to go and live with another partner that he had children with. So we never really grew up with him, so I only had my mom. So in terms of relationships, I never really had a good figure in terms of how to treat women. I essentially did what my father did anyway, even though I always said I wouldn't want to be like him, but I was doing what he was doing.
You're playing girls just like him.
Playing girls just like him. So
Yeah.
I didn't really know what it was to have a solid relationship. I always in my mind I thought I would want that maybe long term down the line, but at that point, no.
And you, Michelle?
I grew up in a very dysfunctional household. I used to see my dad beat my mum up, and it was just arguments. It was a nightmare. One day it was so bad that my mum told me to call the police, and he said that if you call the police, I'm coming for you. So there was just like a lot of fear in the house. Because of that, I didn't respect him. I hated him. I had grudges against him, and they eventually got divorced. But it was still horrible, and I don't think I had any notion of being happy in my love life at all. I didn't even think about it. But there was a lot of like lust within me, and different things because of how I'd grown up and what I'd seen. So before I came to the church, I didn't really have relationships or anything like that. But when I came to the church, because I wasn't serious, I would mess around with guys that I'd known outside of the church, some guys that were coming to the youth group at the same time, but I didn't really have a serious relationship. I had no notion of what that was, and it wasn't something that I was aware of or wanted or even really cared about.
So neither you or you believed in love, in getting married, had hopes for the future. Because you grew up, you never had this example at home, this reference of a family, of a good marriage, right?
Yeah, I never really thought that far.
Exactly.
Honestly, I didn't even think that far.
Yeah.
I was so young, so that wasn't even on my mind about marriage, and that wasn't on my mind at all.
So, and then you came to the church, you solved your problems, right? You here in Finsbury Park, she was there in Luton, right?
Yeah.
You came not thinking about love life, and you as well, right? You didn't think of love life at first. You came to solve your problems. You were here seeking God, and so on and so forth. But God was already preparing, right?
Yeah.
Preparing Julius and preparing Michelle. You far away, like an hour.
Yeah, about an hour. Yeah,
An hour away,
yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
And not knowing that God was preparing someone for you in another city, right?
Yeah.
In another place. Very well. So, how did you meet? Okay, when was the first time that you saw each other, that you actually met in a meeting? How was it?
Well, the first time we met, it wasn't actually in, let's say, a meeting. Well, I saw her in an event that we had. We had a Where You Going event where we would go around touring.
Where are you going?
Where You Going events, so VYG.
VYG event, where are you going?
Where You Going, but it's the first time I saw her there, but I didn't know her. Didn't know anyone. And I remember even on that day, you got blessed or something like that on the altar. She probably doesn't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, she got blessed on the altar. I don't know what she got blessed for. So
You don't even remember.
I don't remember that. I remember rushing around because it was a VYG event. So we were trying to bring people up from downstairs at the time. Luton was in the old church. So we were trying to bring people up and I could barely watch the performance. But that's what I remember.
Yeah, I remember, it just came back to my mind right now that we're talking.
Were you performing or participating?
So we were performing. We went there to perform because we used to go around to different branches doing like a performance for the Where You Going project at the time. So then we stopped at Luton.
So you were performing,
Yeah.
dancing. What were you doing?
Yeah, dancing, drama as well. Yeah.
Really, Julius? You can
Yeah.
dance. So, so you were there. You went to Luton together with the Where You Going,
Yeah.
performing, and you were busy bringing people to the church, and you couldn't really see the performance
No, I
very
didn't
much.
get to see much of it.
You saw that he was there
Yes.
dancing a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
a glimpse here and there, but you didn't really pay attention to Julius.
No.
Never crossed your mind that your future husband was
Nope.
performing there.
Not at
No.
all.
How about you? You went to
No,
Luton. You
not
never
at all.
thought that your future wife would be in the audience.
Not at all. Not at all.
And she went to the altar. She got blessed on the altar.
Yeah, she got blessed on the altar. I can't remember
Must
what it
have
was
been
for.
Probably VYG, isn't it?
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
got blessed on the altar. And I remember when we
It's
left,
like we do the frontliners
Yeah.
or presentation, something like that,
Yeah.
right? New
Yeah.
members.
because I remember the last person we saw was her at the door because she was telling us like goodbye sort of thing.
He was the last person.
She was the last person. I remember now thinking about it. Yeah, you were the last person at the door, and we walked out. Yeah. You were right at the door, and then you were like goodbye, or you were saying bye or something like that, and then we walked.
greeting people as they left.
Yeah, and we walked out. Yeah, and now
But it never crossed your mind.
no.
You saw her being blessed on the altar. Oh, how nice.
Yeah,
So on and so forth.
yeah, and just left after that.
Wow. And neither you.
I just remember that he was the small one. Because he was performing and I remembered that he was that was it.
Yeah.
The short one.
The short one. Sorry, no. The short one. Yeah, that's all I remembered.
Okay. All right. And then you came back. That was the first time you met each other.
Yeah.
But up until there, nothing new.
There was nothing new. And
Nothing changed.
Nothing
Okay.
in the change, yeah.
And you were in the church for how long? Do you remember? How long you were in the church as a member? You were how old? Because you were 14.
14 when I came.
At this time, you were how old?
It's really hard to say because I did
More or less.
I did 17, 18.
Okay, so you were 4 years in the church.
Yeah, about 17, 18.
You were
I'd
about
have
the
to
same
make
age?
a correction, Pastor, because I said in the beginning that I was 18, but that's when you finish university, isn't it? I came before I was going to go to university, which is around 16, isn't it? Is it?
16,
Is that right?
17,
Yeah. So then our
17.
ages match up because we
Yeah.
started in the church at the same time.
Okay, and you were 18 more or less when he went to your branch.
Yeah,
18,
I,
probably,
I think
yeah,
about
if-
17, 18,
yeah.
yeah.
18. Okay, all right. So
I
you,
was-
you were in the church for maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah, because I was firm at that point. Yeah.
Okay, very well. And after this event, this VYG event, how did things started to, fall into place? When was the next contact, the second encounter, if we can call it this way?
So the second encounter was this is probably good 10 to 13 years old now. So anyone that's been around that long would remember this. And they went to VYG. So we had a social platform called VBook.
VBook,
VBook. So it was
not Facebook.
Not Facebook. It was literally created to get all VYG members from the social medias onto a VBook with all VYG members. That was the aim of it. And I went on there and I remember seeing her because I know she was at the...
Hold on. Which one of you remembers VBook? Do you remember VBook? Write it down on the comments. I want to know if you remember VBook. If you're old enough in the church, if you're VYG old school, that you were part of the VBook.
Yeah,
Never heard of
But
it.
it was really good because a youth pastor would come on and at a certain time in the evening and make a prayer with all of the VYG who were online at that time. So that's what I remember from it as well.
Okay, that's nice. I want to see. So you both were on VBook, right? Oh, it's not Facebook, guys. No, they didn't meet on Facebook. It's different. It's VBook. Only for the VYG.
Yeah.
It was before Telegram, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays they use Telegram.
Yeah.
So how was... Okay, so you were friends on VBook or you asked her to be your friend? How did it work?
So I don't know if it was a friend request. I don't remember if I asked for a friend request, but all I remember is that I messaged her to ask her about feedback in regards to the event. So I wanted to know how did she find the event, how did people in Luton find the event, and that was literally it. It was literally innocent. There was no second intention or anything.
So
at that
you
point.
found her, that she was from Luton?
Yeah, because I remember the picture. So yeah.
The last girl you saw leaving Luton, right? the one that was greeting at the door. The last one, stay in your mind. And it's, I remember this girl. Let me ask, what did you ask?
Feedback in regards to the event.
Okay, all right. But there was no second thoughts I like this girl. Nothing.
Nothing, no.
It was very innocent.
Very innocent, yeah.
You asked for feedback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you got the message from him?
I had to look at the picture to see who it was, and I remembered, it was
the short one.
dancing. Yeah, yeah. And I remember giving him the feedback because I know it was. We had never seen anything like that in Luton before. I mean, VYG hadn't done tours like that before, so I was excited anyway. And I remember giving the feedback that it was really great. It was really, really good. Even I remember the testimonies, some of the people who gave testimonies and the performance. So yeah, I just gave my feedback.
What did you say? Oh, you can really dance.
No, I didn't.
You were the best dancer.
Not at all.
No?
I mean, he's a
No.
good dancer. I didn't say that.
It was very general. It was very
general. Yeah, it was a really good event.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then that's how you started to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started to talk on there, and then I think we went from there because I think that VBook stopped after a while.
Yeah.
And then it was...
And you see, friends, we don't even have VBook anymore. People are asking here, Pastor, was VBook an app? We don't even have this anymore. But
No.
you see that it's really nice. Everything we do for God, it bears fruits, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who did this VBook.
Can we say names?
Who came up with this idea, right? Who was it? You told me, right? It was
Yeah, Pastor Joseph.
Pastor Joseph,
Yeah.
who is in Finsbury Park now.
Yes.
You see, I don't know if Pastor Joseph is watching us. You see, Pastor Joseph, everything we do for God, right? It bears fruits. You see, VBook, if the only fruit of the VBook, which I don't believe, if the only fruit was your marriage, it was worth it.
Oh, amen. I know people
Am I
say
right?
it that way, but man, it's true.
And I don't believe. I believe many people benefit from it, right? So it was worth, you see. And everything we do for God, you singles, you who are watching us, every prayer, every time you invest in your marriage, every chain of prayer you do, right? Every service you give to God, you come to church, everything. You might not even remember anymore. Maybe you don't remember the prayers that you did, the chain of prayer that you did on love therapy, the purposes you did, the faith you used at the moment. But God does remember. And one day you're going to reap the fruits if you're faithful, if you remain until the end. Amen? That's really nice, right?
Yes.
So VBook bearing fruits here. All right. I would like to know if there are more VBook testimonies. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. It would be interesting, right?
It was good to know.
Where are the VBook testimonies? If you are a VBook testimony, that's how you met your wife, your husband. If you have a testimony, let us know, okay? Contact the Love. What is the email for them to contact? Send questions, testimonies, ideas. Friends, and if you have ideas, questions, that's it. Love. Very easy. love@uckg.org. It's going to come straight to me. love@uckg.org. You can send ideas, a testimony. If you want to be here in the program, Pastor, I wanna go. I wanna be interviewed. You, a couple, you're watching us right now. Pastor, give me a chance. Let us know. We're going to give you the chance to be here with us. All right? I'll be waiting for your email. All right. So then you start talking, and okay. After that, what happened? How did you get into the relationship? That's the hard part. Because, okay, now you saw each other, you exchange some messages, but how you go from here there, from A to B? How did you start a romantic conversation, we can say?
I would say, for me anyway, I always kind of, when anyone asks me this, I always say this. There was a time where I literally got an ultimatum. He gave me an ultimatum.
Who gave you a...
She gave
Wait,
me
I
an
Oh,
did.
she?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, she basically said to me, she doesn't remember, but I remember it. She said to me, basically, either you're serious about this or you're not, let me know so I can move on.
Wow.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I have to be honest. at that point, because we were talking for a while, just talking,
chitty-chatting.
just talking. But
Yeah.
for me, I was at the point where but I'm still open. I'm still kind of open. I'm not,
So you were chatting with her,
I was chatting with her,
but keep yourself available,
but it was
just in case. Nothing too serious,
no.
no commitment.
No, we weren't necessarily committed at the time. We were just
And she
talking.
was seeing you, it was being too much, right? Oh, where is this going?
Yeah.
You were talking back and forth, and she said, wait, he has to make a
I don't
decision.
remember that.
But she
I can
doesn't.
be-
She doesn't remember.
I don't remember.
But
No.
And we don't have VBook anymore, right? To go back to the messages, poor thing. But so she gave you an ultimatum.
Yeah, she did. She literally.
I think at that time it must have been because I didn't, after like all the messing around I had done in the VYG, and my mind was
Yeah.
focused, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to do anything that would displease God, and
Yeah.
I wanted it to come from God. So I even remember that it was like you were also serious, especially about your faith as well, because that's one thing that made me like think, okay, this guy, he has his head screwed on, like he's not just another person in the church who's messing around, and he was serious. And that's what made me see the difference in him through our conversations, because they weren't about rubbish. They were serious conversations, well-intentioned.
He respected you.
Yes, that's one thing I noticed.
Never crossed boundaries.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so first you saw he was a good candidate.
Yeah.
A man of God.
Yeah.
But he was lacking the decision. And you couldn't be messing around talking to boys. You didn't want that.
No.
Nobody has time for that, right?
No, not at all.
So you said, what did you say? Whether you do this or...
it was along the lines of, let me know where we stand, whether, you're serious or not. It's not those exact words, but it was literally on that line, basically.
Wow.
And for me at that point, I was like, whoa. That was literally like, whoa. I was not expecting that.
When you got that message on VBook, you were like,
it was
whoa.
It was actually on VBook. This was way after VBook now. Because after VBook...
So you were talking for how long?
It was a while. So after VBook, because VBook, we were just talking VYD.
Okay.
Then after that, we started talking. We even started going to the same like dance classes.
Yeah.
She would come from Luton to attend like a dance class that we would go.
Okay.
So then I got to know her more. So this was over a period of time. So VBook, this was probably maybe a year or two.
So it wasn't just
after.
messages; it became friends, right?
Yeah.
Seeing each other.
We also used to attend the love therapy as well.
Yeah, we attended love therapy
I would
as
come
well.
all the way from Luton.
You would come to the love therapy.
Yeah, but we weren't together at this time.
Yeah.
We just knew each
just
other.
seeing each other, knowing each other. Okay, but keeping the closeness, the friendship.
Yeah.
But there was this point that you felt, no, we need to make a decision. Where do we stand? What is this, right? What is this that we have? You wanted to know. And when you got this message from her, Julius, what did you do? What did you think?
I mean, as I said before, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. It was literally out of the blue. But then for me, I thought to myself, something that I like that. I like that sort of like assuredness, like what you wanted, that she knew what she wanted, sort of thing.
It's like you have to decide, right? What is it that we have, right? You have to decide, and sometimes, excuse me, Julius, just for a second. Sometimes, people, singles, they beg attention. They go around begging for attention. And nobody likes a person who doesn't value herself or himself, right? They are insecure. They do everything to please the other, begging for attention. No, but if you don't value yourself, no one will. If you don't love yourself, who will love you, right? What she did, that's what caught your attention. That's the ultimatum that Michelle gave to Julius. That's exactly what made you react and say, that's the girl. I like that decision. She's, decided, right? She's serious. I cannot mess around with her, right? She's not going to allow. And some people, they are afraid of this, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
They are too afraid. I don't want to offend. What if this person gets mad at me? No, you have to be who you are. You have to value yourself, love yourself. And that's how people are going to love you. That's how people are going to value, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly when you start valuing her.
Yeah, that
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this girl. I like her attitude.
Yeah.
Right? She could be my wife. That's when you... That's when... You came to your senses.
I wouldn't say at that point I was thought, oh, she can be my wife, but I just like that. There's the attitude that's something I was like, whoa, okay. And then obviously from there, we made a decision. We actually continued talking, But I mean, the whole talking period was very long. When I mean very long, we spoke for almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year just talking. But the reason for that is because she was just finishing off uni, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and I wasn't at a place in my finances at the time.
Okay.
So we didn't want to get into a relationship at that point. It just wasn't for us. We thought it wasn't the right time.
But after the ultimatum,
That's us. This is after ultimatum.
okay, after that, you knew where you were standing.
We knew where we stood
How did you respond to that?
to the ultimatum.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I just basically said to her, okay, let's go with this. Let's let's move
Let's do
forward.
it.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
I don't think I
Amen.
said it like that, but yeah, that was literally it.
Yes. Okay. Let's be serious.
Yeah,
Let's treat this as a future relationship.
yeah, basically.
Let's make this work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well. So from that moment on, the conversation shift from friends to something more, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
A possible candidate for marriage, right?
Yeah.
You start seeing each other in a different way.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So, and then you started talking for one more year,
About a
but
year,
in a
yeah.
different way,
Yeah.
right? More serious,
Yeah.
okay? And then,
So then after that, that's when we started dating. But then I think we dated for, I think it was another year and
Yeah,
a year
because
and
I still lived outside London.
right?
So we would only meet up when we could. Like sometimes he would come and see
Yeah.
me where I worked. Not where I worked, but at King's Cross Station, we would sit and talk until I had to go and he had to go. So it was like these off
Yeah,
chance
small little
meetings.
moments,
Yeah,
yeah.
small moments that we had. Maybe that's why it was so long.
Yeah.
And then we would come to the love therapy together as well, and sit together and
It was
Yeah.
dating
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
in a distance, so
yeah. If we
it
can
took
say that, long
longer for you to
distance.
know each other, spend
Yeah.
time together.
Yeah.
Okay, and during this time that you start talking more serious, dating, right? It was like 2 years, right? Since you started
Yeah, about
talking
2 years,
seriously, and then dating one more year.
yeah.
Did you have differences, problems here and there, adapting?
We didn't, Pastor.
No?
I don't think so because we were so far and we didn't see each other all the time. There was nothing to disagree on or nothing to, it's like when you go on a date and you dress your best, they only see you that way. So
Yeah.
that was how it was for us. I knew that there was one thing we used to joke about because whenever we would go out, I was always nervous. So I would always end up buckling or tripping over, and he used to joke about it because I would always trip over in front of him, and I think, why am I so clumsy? But it was just because
You were nervous.
I was nervous. Yeah.
Okay, and then you decided to get married. You
Yeah.
were still living in Luton.
Yes,
You
I was.
decided
Yeah.
to get married. Where did you
Yeah.
get married?
We got married here in Finsbury Park.
Here, Finsbury Park. And after
Yeah.
you got married, then you moved here.
Yeah.
All right. And how's marriage going for you?
Well, marriage is blessed. Marriage is blessed. Of course, we had our fair share of difficult moments that we faced.
Actually, you didn't live close.
No.
That's when you got married. That's when you started to share,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be close every day. Problems. Did you have problems? Do you remember anything that you can share with us? Differences.
I would
things like
say
this?
one of the biggest problems that we had was in regards to communication. And I say that because there were times that I couldn't understand her and she couldn't understand me.
Yeah.
That we always kind of clashed in certain things. Whereas, as I said before, we were so distant. Now we're close, so
Yeah.
we saw each other every day, literally.
Yeah.
So certain mannerisms that I may have, that I had, that she would have seen because she didn't live with me, and vice versa. So our communication, our level of communication with each other, was one of our main problems and one that we always
Yeah.
talk about.
So marriage is totally different than dating.
Yes.
Totally different,
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
right? You can see by your example. Is another level.
Yes, definitely.
It's another level. So that's why those who are dating, you need to pay attention to the details, right? The little signs. I like to say that everything that is good when you are dating is going to get better once you get married. And everything that is bad, little signs, little things that are bad, is gonna become worse, right? Marriage will amplify everything. So you need to pay attention to the little details, the little signs. So you did understand her.
Yeah.
How about you,
I would
Michelle?
say it was because, so this was something that I admired in him when we were dating from a distance, is because he's like serious. And I admired that. I admired his quietness, his focus. That's how I interpreted it when we were dating. But now when we're married, because I need to know things and I understand things by talking, and he would rather think about how we're going to solve the situation or things like that. So for me, it was like, no, we need to talk. But he would rather think about it and say in fewer words than I wanted. So that's where we clashed in terms of communication. And it was just having to learn to understand each other's differences, because that wasn't a red sign, but it was a personality trait. He's still very calm. I'm still very much more outspoken. But I learned to understand his differences and to accept his differences rather than trying to change him, because I never will.
Yeah. So then you solve these things, right? You understanding each other, because you have different personalities. You're more calm.
More calm, more quiet, like more reserved in a sense.
And you're more talkative.
Yes, not to everyone, but
more like an extrovert.
Yeah.
We can say, right?
Yeah, more bubbly and
it's funny because you liked him the way he was, quiet, serious, reserved. But you got married and you want to change him?
Yeah.
No?
It was working for me.
No, okay.
But no, I understood. Yeah.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
It's complicated. It's complicated. But you overcame these little differences.
Yeah.
Marriage is great now.
Yeah.
Of course. Still improving. How long you been married for?
So
It will be 7 years and 7 months.
about 7 years.
7 years, 7 months, because in October it's 8.
Yeah,
counted.
about 7 years, 7 months. Yeah, so 8 years in October.
Yeah.
7 years now, right? Still working your marriage.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You participated this couples month, right? You were telling me. Did anything that we thought that helped you? Did anything help you? Did you get anything? Participating in the prayers of the love therapy, did it help you anyhow?
Yeah. I would say for myself, what we were just talking about not trying to change him, but to accept him and his differences and the things that make him who he is, not trying to make him something that he's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, Julius?
For me, I would say that, these 5 weeks that we've been taking part in this, it's kind of shown me how to, just look at the right way to put it. It's kind of shown me how I need to truly work to understand her more and more, and that I need to constantly be working to try and understand her. I feel like, the prayers that we've been doing as well has kind of brought us together, for praying for each other and, praying for our marriage and, always wanting to work and look to improve our marriage every single day. It's not because we are here now, we've been married these amount of years that that's it. It's like we can always work on something. There's always something. And even if what we hear today, we may be okay in that today, it doesn't mean that we may be okay in that tomorrow, but we have to continuously watch and just be vigilant.
Very well. So, would you like to give an advice for the youngsters, for the youth, the VYG?
Yes.
I'd like you to look at this camera here, and you guys can give an advice for the youths, right? Those who are single, they haven't met the right person yet. They're in the church saying, oh, there's no one for me. I don't see anyone. They go to VYG meetings, events. There's no one. Maybe the person is there.
Yeah.
They don't see it now. That's not the right time. But the person is there, right? Like it happened to you. Do you have an advice for the singles? Can you, here in the camera?
Yeah. For me, I would personally say to not be anxious and to focus on your relationship with God first and foremost. Because when I thought that I could find this person, or maybe this person's the one for me, or maybe he's the one, maybe he's the one, it was a mess. But when I said, there was a point I said, okay, God, this is in your hands. I'm not going to take this into my own hands. I'm going to do my part. I'll attend the love therapy. I'll take on the advice, but you have prepared the person for me. And when I did that, it wasn't very soon after, then that's when he came to Luton to perform at the event. And I didn't know that he was going to be my husband, but I trusted that my love life was in God's hands as well as doing my part. So don't be anxious. Focus first on the kingdom of God, and he's going to bless you because he wants to see you happy.
Amen.
And what I would say, what advice I would give is for you to work on yourself, because it's very easy to want something or to want someone to be like this or someone to be like that. But how can you want that if you are not that, if that makes sense? So I want someone who is of God, but then you're not of God. You know, what you want in someone, already be it for yourself. And when you work on yourself in that right time, you know, God will bring that person. So you could be a single person right now. You may not have your finances in the way that you want it to. Within yourself, you may still have things within yourself that you still need to work on. Instead of running or rushing to be with someone right now and you have things to work on within yourself or within your life, work on yourself, work on your life, so that when that person does come along, you're able to add to them. Because that's essentially what it is about marriage. You add to the person. But if you're not the finished article, then you're only going to take away from someone. So that will be my advice, to work on yourself, work on you, so then you can be an addition to somebody else.
That's what you guys did. You worked on yourself. You were not really worried. You were working on yourself. And look what God did. He brought Julious to your branch to perform, right? The short one, dancing, performing, and she was greeting you at the door. When you left, she said goodbye, right? And it stayed in your mind. Really nice, beautiful love story. Congratulations. Okay, for your faith, your perseverance. May God bless your marriage more and more. Amen. To be an example for those who come after you. Okay?
Can I just add something else, Pastor, very quickly?
Go ahead.
From the time that I went to the branch up until we got married, it was a process. It was like 5-6 years. It didn't happen. It didn't happen in one. Because obviously we're talking about we met here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we didn't start dating for maybe 4 years later. And then we didn't get married for like another year and a half too. So like, you may meet the person today, doesn't mean you're going to get married tomorrow. It's like, it's that process. And throughout that time, we had to continue trusting. Yeah. Because I remember I said to quite a few people, I said to my mom, I said to my friends, at 18, I said to them, I'm getting married at 22. So at 18, I said, I'm getting married at 22. No one believed me, Pastor.
And what happened? Did you get married at 22?
Yes, I did get married at 22.
Amen.
I determined it and it happened. But
Edir, how old are you, Edir? 22, Edir. Huh?
Yes, Pastor.
22.
22.
If you had done this prayer at 18, if you had just done this prayer when you were 18, Edir,
Yes, Pastor.
But
Amen.
But then again, that's faith, because I determined
Yeah.
at 22. But I didn't say I'm going to marry Michelle at 22. I said I'm going to get married at 22. So God literally used that and said, you know what? I'm going to work on you. I'm going to work on her. And at 22, you guys are going to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just wanted to add that in there. And
Yeah.
because faith, you have to use your faith in this as well.
Really nice. Amen. Congratulations. May God bless you. Thank you so much for coming. Beautiful story. It was very nice to hear your love story here in the program. Okay? God bless you all. See you. Bye-bye.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.